I basically ran out of all of my paper and tape at the same time, so I had to get a restock. But I decided to change up a few things, and I'm trying out a new paper size. I'm testing out some new tape. I also, just for fun, picked up a new brand of brushes and sizes that I've never used before. I also have these wax crayons that were a gift, so I'm going to see how those might fit into my watercolor practice. So come along with me and let's take a look at what I got. So this time when I restocked, I haven't bought these before, but I decided to get these 5x7 blocks. And I already opened one of them, and you can see I painted it on the first page of this one. It works really beautifully. I love the quality of this paper. This one is the Academy watercolor paper pad. It's actually listed under Meeden. That one is really affordable. I love it. It's still 100% cotton, so you can see I've gotten 2 of them, and each of these has 20 sheets in it. And then just because I wanted to try this for fun, I got the Bao paper as well. It's also 100% cotton, and it also has 20 sheets in it. And I have a feeling these are very similar, if not the same, because I confirmed with Meeden before, and they're basically Bao paper because they use the same manufacturer. I hope I'm saying that correctly, but and I have my facts straight. But that's the last that I know about this, is that they're kind of coming from the same place, so the quality is really high, I think, and I've loved it so far. And I'll go ahead and open the Bao so you can kind of see the difference between the two when you open this one versus this one. So one of them actually came, and I can't remember which one. I think it was this one, came with a, it looks like a leaf, but it helps you detach the block paper. So it actually, you can go in here. There's usually a, like an opening here. And this is meant to slide in and then help you detach this paper. I have a bone folder that I normally use, and then sometimes I have to be really careful with this because the glue is done really nicely and very securely, and then I've ripped my paper before when I wasn't careful. Okay, so we have this one. This is the Meeden, and this one has a nice texture to it. I just ripped off the painting I did. And then this one's the Bao, and if I open it, this one's brand new, so it has like a protective green sheet on it that you can take off like this. This one's a lot easier to rip off, and you don't have to be worried about ripping the green because it's not your painting. But you can see here that this one actually has much more texture than this one actually. So I haven't used this one yet. So I can't tell you exactly how it paints or show you how it paints, but this one is also cold pressed. So they're kind of the same, both cold pressed. And then I'll hold these up closer so you can see the comparison of the texture in case you're curious. And I'm excited to use these just because I think they're a really nice compact size. I also got 2 larger size pads. I have a 7x10, and you can see I've used this before, and I think it's changed just slightly packaging wise, but it's the same brand. It's Meeden. I think that when I ordered them on Amazon, this is actually labeled as Meeden in the listing. It doesn't say it on the actual pad, but it actually says Bao. But they, as I mentioned, they come from the same factory from what I understand. And so they should be the same level of quality, although maybe a little bit different as we saw with the textures. So I'll open these 2 and then you can kind of see what the difference is, if there is any. And I'll leave the links below to any of these just in case you want to shop them, because I feel like they are really a good affordable paper. So again, it has the same kind of turquoise or sea green paper in here. And so I'll just go ahead and open this so you can see the texture. Right, so I would say that these 2 have very similar textures, if not exactly the same. I don't know if they're exactly the same, but if you look at them, it's definitely close. I mentioned I also ran out of tape, and that's not entirely true. I still have these 3 rolls, and this one is very old. It's from when I was in college, which was a long time ago. And so it doesn't stick as well anymore, so I don't trust it that much. It's also kind of thin, and I like using a thicker one. I was using this one because I ran out of all of my white tape that was this size, but I don't like the purple as much because it's kind of distracting to me when I have to tape off a border. I like the white. That's just a personal preference. And of course, this blue one is very thin, and sometimes I just use it to divide up papers, so not appropriate for taping down sheets or anything like that. Maybe it's okay for creating a border, but it's still a little bit thin. And I got this brand off of Amazon. I'm gonna have to test it. It has some good reviews, but I'll give it a test later on in this video and we can see how it works. I think people said it's a little bit translucent. I'm not sure what that means, and we're gonna have to see if it works well. The other tape I've been using is very, very opaque before this, so this might be a little bit different, and we'll see if it works. So when I was cleaning up, I actually found that I did have more tape, and that's white. And this is a Holbein tape, and it looks actually like really good tape, and I had forgotten that I had stashed this in my drawer. And so I guess I could have gotten away without buying this, and I could have just bought, or I could have just used this one. It looks great. I guess we can give both of them a test, and I think it's worth trying. It looks a lot nicer if you were gonna ask me. Like it says professional tape, and it really feels very high quality. And I think it probably, I don't remember where I got this. If I can find it on Amazon, I'll link it. But this one, it just feels more high quality than this. I feel like it probably costs more, but maybe they'll work great. This one's also a little bit wider, you can see. In comparison to this one that I was using, the width of it, this one's the widest. I don't think it needs to be this wide. I just need it to overlap a little bit onto the paper and a little bit onto the board. And so I think these are both good widths. This one, if you want to know, is a 0.7 inch wide tape. And this one might be a 0.75. So the last thing I bought was brushes. I feel like this brand, because they have all these sets and they have different sizes within the set, felt the most high value to me, because then I could try different shapes. And I don't have a lot of these shapes or types, and so I felt like it was a nice splurge for me to get. I have been wanting to paint on bigger paper, and when you paint bigger, you need bigger brushes. And so you can see this one's like it says size 8, but it's a quill, so they're really big. I have a size 2 quill, and it's already, I think, one of my bigger brushes, just so you can kind of know, I don't have a lot of big brushes, so that's why I was looking at this set in particular. So these are some of the other shapes that are in this set, which I found really interesting that I don't have yet. So there's like this little stubby flat one. I have a couple of Chinese calligraphy style brushes, because I used to do Chinese calligraphy when I was younger. So this one seems really interesting as well. There's this one, which I've never used, and kind of is a strange shape. Round tip brush, and then has an extra long point. And this looks like a very nice typical round brush here. The last thing that I wanted to share here are these clear crayons that I got as a gift. They have a clear wrapper, and they're clear kind of all the way through. I think they're so pretty, and I'm kind of curious if they'll resist watercolor, so kind of like wax resist. Let's test out some of these new supplies. All right, so let's go ahead and we're gonna test out both of these papers at the same time, and we'll also test out these two tapes. So this is the tape that I had. It was the Holbein tape, and then I'm gonna go ahead and put some down on both sheets just for fun. I'm not gonna try and paint anything real, meaning I'm not going to try and paint a masterpiece. Not that I may ever paint any masterpieces, but we're gonna go ahead and just test this paper here. So I'm gonna put one strip of tape here. This one is really thin, and it feels like fabric, kind of like a really thin papery fabric. No matter what tape I'm using, I really make sure to press it down, because I feel like you wanna make sure that it's adhered totally, so that you don't get any seeping. I think I was getting a lot of seeping with the last tape that I had. That tape actually needed a lot more pressure taping it down, because it was thicker. Now this tape is thinner, and so I wonder if that just means that it doesn't need quite as much pressure, or it's just going to be a little bit better at keeping the paint from bleeding. This is the Kiwi Hub tape, and the other one is the Holbein tape. One's a little bit creamier colored, and the other one's white. Both of these are good to me, though. Visually, it doesn't distract me from what I'm painting. I really don't like it when it's a border of color. I don't know why. It just visually is not appealing to me, and it kind of distracts me from the thing I'm painting as well. So I think I'm just going to make some marks for fun and then see how it goes. Oh, this is like a very neon yellow. I'm just making the same marks on both. I find it really interesting, because I think we all have different approaches to doing things like this. So I don't know why these marks are coming out right now, but I'm just gonna go with it. Let's try and cross. And then I'm just making them exactly the same. Let's try yellow green. But I like this one. You can see with the crayons how much more texture there is on this Valhong paper. Just by the nature of the crayons, it's like a good demonstration. Maybe red and blue, and we'll see if we can make a purple. See how you can see how there's much more texture. I'm pressing kind of the same amount of pressure, so you can kind of see there. And then we'll take, there's an ultramarine blue. And yeah, it does kind of make a purple. Let's try gray. These are fun. They're like super waxy. I'm just going to use whatever I have on my palette, which is a lot of blue right now. And let's test out this big size 8 quill. I'm pulling out the same blue. The blue I have on my palette is an Indian throne. This is the biggest brush I have used, and I can tell it holds a lot of water. And maybe what might be nice to try is doing a wash, like a flat wash with this, just because the brush is so big and this paper is so small. And I feel like it would probably cover a lot of the surface area really quickly. So I'm gonna move this, and then I'll do a wash down this side just for fun. I don't even really need to do a wash like the normal way I do a wash, just because this is covering so much area and it holds so much paint. So we just are gonna paint over the whole thing. It's just a big brush. And this crayon does resist really nicely. So I've abandoned the idea of a wash. I'm just painting over the whole thing because this thing is holding so much water, and it doesn't need it. So I'm going to use a different brush, one of my old brushes that I already have. I'm just going to use it to pick up this bead before I put this down. Then I'm going to do the same wash on this side. Set this to the side. Let's do another wash just for fun. Let's try and do this kind of the way that I would do it if I was using a smaller brush. This is a nice big brush. I think so far I like it. I'm going to try and test out how it does with, I would say how it does with like thinner strokes. I just want to see what kind of strokes I can get with it. So when I get a new brush, sometimes what I like to do is just take it. I don't know what color this is going to be right now, but because it's just for fun, it doesn't matter. But I just want to see what kind of shapes it makes when I kind of push it down and kind of push it to the belly. You know, I'm just making the same marks on both one. And then I want to see if it gets really thin. So yeah, it actually holds a nice tip. You know, kind of makes some interesting shapes. Sometimes I like to start trying to turn the brush and see if it can make different shapes, kind of go at things from different angles. I want to go test the other brush now, which is this funny shaped one. This one I think will make really nice flick marks. So that's what I anticipated it would be able to do. So right now I'm only painting on the tips of this, like the skinny part. So I'm kind of curious what will happen if I am painting on the whole thing. Like if I press like this, it makes a very interesting shape. And then if I go at it from the side, what that might do. I think it's really interesting to explore brushes from different ways. This one is quite fun to play with, this brush. I want to come back and I'm just going to paint over some of this resist just for fun. I'm going to use an older brush, something I already have. Yeah, this crayon really does resist the wax really well. I think this is true of really any crayon, But I haven't done crayon wax resist in a long time. Let's go in here. I'm just gonna drop some wet into wet just because this one's dry, wet still. And because it has a lot more texture, so this stayed more wet, and then this one's already kind of dry. You can kind of see that, right? So it's not doing as much wet on wet. So that's like a very interesting observation, I think, to make about these two, is that this one, even though it says cold press, it really, to me, feels a lot more like rough paper. And then this one doesn't. This one feels more like regular cold press paper. I'm gonna let this dry and then we'll pull the tape off. I think most of it's dry. You can see there's a couple of things that I noticed is that this one, the Holbein tape kind of resists paint better, and this one will show the paint on top of it. I also drew over this one, I think, more than I did this one, but even in the spots that I did paint over it, it just doesn't hold quite as much or show quite as much of that color. So this one beautifully kept the paint from going in on both papers, and it comes off really easily. This is a good sign. And then let's try this one. Also did a great job. Beautiful. And they both come off really easily, even though I pressed them down a lot when I was taping it down. So both of these look really good, and I'm actually very pleasantly surprised. So thanks for coming along with me and testing out all these supplies. I think overall I'm pretty happy with the things that I bought to restock my paper and my tape. And I'm curious how I'll end up using these bigger brushes. The crowns are a really fun addition too. I don't know how they're going to fit into my watercolor practice, but thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.